Hey everybody, we are the FitHealth Pros. I'm Coach Sean.
And I'm Dr. Kevin.
We're here to improve your health. Today's topic is going to be 5 easy ways to better sleep. Now, why would we go into sleep? Why is it important? Well, as we sleep, we heal, we grow, we regenerate. There are certain negatives that happen every day, both mentally and physically, some roadblocks per se, that we're going to cover in a little bit, that kind of create this statistic that we found that 1 in 3 people don't get enough sleep.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, that's
33%.
Pretty bad, 33.333%. You know, with poor sleep, we're looking at walking zombies. We're always having fatigue, tiredness, lack of concentration, and irritability.
Right. Absolutely. We also know that prolonged lack of sleep can cause disorientation, paranoia, hallucinations. There's studies out there that show that poor sleep can be one of the factors in heart disease, type 2 diabetes, and chronic inflammation. And that can absolutely represent the pain that we're feeling every day. So we put together these 5 ways to better sleep. Now, before we get into that, we just want to let you know that we spend a lot of time researching articles, finding the best information for you and packaging it up into these videos to save you guys time. So if you find that valuable, definitely smash that like button, subscribe button, and get the notices as well. So let's jump into number 1. What we want to do is set up your day for better sleep. We want to really keep it consistent. Wake up the same time every day. The other thing we want to do is make sure that we're going outside, getting at least 30 minutes of sun. What that does is that sets up the circadian rhythms and starts to tell your body, hey, when do I wake, when do I sleep? And that's going to really be beneficial for us. And if you're fatigued in the middle of the day, what can we do?
Take a nap.
Naps are good. So that's really one of the best. It's okay to do that. It is one of the best ways to help you sleep later on too. You just don't want to go long enough to where you're messing that evening time up. So we found that really keep that under an hour. It should freshen you up and you should be raring to go. So that's number 1.
All right, number 2, we're going to jump into nutrition. In many of the videos that we put out here for you guys, we always include nutrition. Nutrition is so important to so many different factors of health. As it pertains to sleep, because we have this regeneration going on as we sleep, you need to include a substantial amount of protein. As the brain cells rebuild, as the heart muscle rebuilds, and other muscle rebuild, you need to have enough protein for that. Now, depending on your height, your weight, your body fat percentage, your age, your gender, it could be different for one person to the next person. It's probably different from Kevin to me. And because of that, do your research and or shoot us an email or leave a message down below in the community section here. And so we can kind of touch upon that for you as an individual possibly. The next step nutritionally is caffeine. Now, many people that we know are completely addicted to caffeine. We're talking 4, 5 more cups of coffee every day. Now, just because you've built up a resistance to that caffeine doesn't mean that it's not going to mess up with your sleep cycle. So make sure that you have a 2 p.m. caffeine cutoff time. Last cup of coffee, last whatever caffeinated beverage that you're going to be having has to be done by 2 o'clock so that your body knows that, okay, it's time to start winding down a little bit. I'm going to get the rest of my work done, and then we're going to get into dinner, and then we're going to get into that unwind time. We're going to touch upon that in a little bit. Right. In terms of that dinner, try to have your last bite by 8 p.m. In order to do this, plan accordingly. You know, go for a lighter dinner at nighttime. We're looking for our bodies to focus on regeneration instead of digestion after our head hits the pillow.
Right.
If you are still having some issues at nighttime, you can go into supplementation. You can go, say, melatonin, glycine, magnesium, or certain supplements that can be helpful. Oh, so I keep forgetting about no alcohol.
Oh,
Yeah,
no alcohol.
no alcohol. This is one of those ones that the science goes back and forth on this.
It does, and when we look into research, we find that
The proverbial
they really recommend that you limit the amount of alcohol that can disrupt your sleep.
Yes. Now some say, one glass of red wine, a small glass of red wine can help mellow you out and get you ready for bed. Certain people like myself, I have an opposite effect that happens when I have alcohol. It actually wakes me up. It calms me in the moment, then as soon as my head hits a pillow, I wake back up. Or it doesn't let me get to that REM sleep that
Right.
we're all looking for.
Yeah.
So no alcohol is the recommendation, but again, we're all individuals here.
Absolutely. All right, so the third thing that's going to help with better sleep is addressing and handling mental and physical health issues. So there's people out there that have anxiety, that are depressed, have that depression. There's PTSD and just stress in everyday life. So the majority of us will have one of those or some sort of stress in our lives. Now, if you're having a poor night's sleep and you want a better night's sleep, definitely we want to address that. So there are some calming techniques. There's yoga, there's meditation and breathing exercises. If it feels that you're really struggling, it's okay to seek professional help. There's less stigma in that. We can reach out over the phone with telemedicine nowadays. There's apps, there's different ways to bring those professionals in to assist you with that. There are some other medical conditions that go with sleep that a little more rare, but if you do have these, it's again best to address it, and it can change your life. Things like insomnia, sleep apnea, and narcolepsy. So sleep apnea is probably the biggest one.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, and
Insomnia, stress-related insomnia as well, possibly.
yeah, and it can be something as simple as a small device like a CPAP machine that can allow you to breathe and get oxygen
Novel
and
idea.
way better health.
Yes.
Partners usually love it when you don't snore, so can improve your life tremendously. So if you have one of those things, look into that. So that's the third way to improve your sleep. That's the fourth.
Number 4, wind down. Like I had mentioned earlier, we're going to get that wind down time before you go to bed. So after dinner, you're with family, you want to relax. Use some of these calming techniques, or cuddle with the kids on the couch, turn the brain off a little bit. You want to silence your phones at this time through sleep time if at all possible. Get the ringers off, get the buzzers off, get the tones, especially if you have a tone that's specific to your workplace.
Right.
One of the problems now with the smartphones is we are always plugged in. We're never fully away from the office, and that can affect our sleep. So if you can turn that off, if you can get away with that, that would be absolutely integral to calming you and taking you away from that workplace and getting you ready for bed.
Right. You can use the setting on the phones as well.
Yes.
They have the wind down settings. And
wind down, do not disturb.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, you can utilize any of those as well. You want to dim the lights a little bit at this time too. Many of our family rooms have multiple light systems going on and lamps. It's like, go for the dimmest lights and just calm down. Do your best to calm down. When you're getting ready for bed, say you're brushing your teeth, you're washing your face, etc., whatever your nightly regimen is, put some calming music on. A lot of us have those Alexas or Googles or whatever that you can utilize to just play some music off the cuff or play it on your phone or whatever you need to do. I like to put film scores on, depending on the film.
Right.
I'm not putting The Terminator on because that gets me a little amped up.
No.
But put on some calming film scores that can also help bring you down, keep your adrenaline low, your heart rate low, so that you can be ready to for your head to hit that pillow. When you are creating your daily schedule of when you're going to get to sleep, try to get to sleep by 10:30. You know, the experts say 90 minutes before midnight, so I'm just going to say 10:30. I'm going to put it into the time. Try to get to your head hitting the pillow, eyes are going to close, not reading a book, not doing something else, by 10:30. That way you can ensure yourself of a good 6 to 8 hours of sleep before you get up and you starting your mind up again for the workplace.
Sounds great.
So number 5, Dr. Fox.
All right, number 5, we want to set that proper sleep environment. So going back to dimming the lights, once you get to there and you're ready to sleep, we want to make it as dark as possible. So there's blackout shades, there's curtains that can help black that out, and there's sleep masks. The other way to set the environment is to have a cool room, so 60 degrees to 67 degrees Fahrenheit. That is the optimal temperature for sleeping, and you can do that a number of ways. So you can add a fan, you can utilize the air conditioner. Out here in Arizona, the air's always on.
Gets a little pricey at times if you want to get all the way down to 67, but
you know, you do what you got to do to get that proper sleep. There's also cooling mattress pads, and that helps out
help quite a bit.
And you can look into the bedding. 100% pure cotton sheets
Breathable.
Versus a polyester sheet, much cooler, much more breathable.
Sure.
The other thing we want to do is we want to set the area up without any electrical devices. So if you have a big TV screen on the wall and you're watching TV and that light's blaring at you in a dark room, it's going to mess with your brain.
Stimulates it.
It stimulates it.
It's
So we want to get rid of that. We don't want the phone on the side table where it's going to pop on through the night and you have a flicker of light popping on. The biggest reason why all these electronic devices have blue light, and that blue light's been shown to mess with the brain and the ability for it to fall asleep. And I think you were telling me that there's settings on there.
Yeah, there's actually nighttime settings on a lot of these phones and tablets. You know, with the advent of the smartphones and it's always in our hands, it's become an addiction.
Right.
So there are many of you out there that are going to have issues with this, not having devices by the bed. If you do have this addiction, if you do find that in your mind it helps you wind down for sleep, use a nighttime setting on it. So instead of the blue light, it might be a little more of a rose light or a backlit, like gray tone to it, and that can help you not have that blue light stimulation in your brains.
Yeah, great idea. The other thing we want to do is make the area as quiet as possible or provide some sort of white noise.
Sure.
So a lot of people, they'll fall asleep, they like hearing the train go by and they're out. That's a white noise, but we don't want to have any blaring music. A lot of people will use earplugs. They'll use a machine that provides a babbling brook sound or waves if you like that. Find what works best for you. We like, at my household, the aromatherapy diffuser.
Nice.
It makes a little white noise, plus you can put essential oils to provide that environment there too. So that's it.
That's it. Thanks for coming along on the ride.
Yes.
We're here for you. We want to help you. We want to make things easier for you, tangible and usable. So hopefully you can pick out at least a couple things that we went over today and are able to implement them today. That's how easy we want to make this for you.
Right, yeah. Hopefully it was simple and easy. We didn't get too deep in the weeds today. You should be able to take 2 to 3, maybe even all 5 real quick to set that sleep scenario up for you.
Absolutely. We are the Fit Health Pros. I am Coach Sean.
And I'm Dr. Kevin. Don't forget to smash that subscribe.
Smash.
And we look forward to bringing you more information, and we'll see you next time.
See you later.
All right.